All right, it's Theo here. Welcome back. Yes, we have the Fire Golems. So we ended up making a Fire Golem build next. We did the Death Sentry, and Fire Golem looked really cool and fun, so ended up dumping some currency into the Fire Golems and testing it out. And I've been playing it for about a week now, and it's a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite mapping builds. I'll go over that in a minute. So first we'll go over the gear, just like the other one, and then get some tips on it and what I think about the build, and we'll go into do a map. So first thing, I like the Dominion route. There's other routes you can go. I prefer Dominion. Um, just a pretty good wand. That extra golem is really nice when you pop out the damage. When you are getting a Dominion wand, uh, what you want to get is something that is hard to get. As you see here, you obviously want a 3 to Fire Golem wand, unless you're doing some kind of weird pre-buff, which I will go into. I don't recommend. But so I got a 3 Fire Golem, 1 lower res. That allows me to save no points down here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 points to get here. Or the other version is you could do like a revive, because I heard those are pretty cool too, which I'm working my way down and 3 more levels. So at 96, I could actually have a point to revive. So it's just kind of like what you want to get. I don't really use lower res that much, to be honest with you. So except for the bosses, but you'll see they die pretty fast with my gear setup. So it's up to you. You could get a wand with like bone armor and blood warp if you want. At this point, I don't really need it. Without CTA, I'm at 0.2 seconds, so I don't feel it at all. So yeah, we went Dominion, and then I got a couple different helmets. You want as many seals as possible on this build to really get it up there, and as many holes as possible for facets. The minus does not work on pets or traps or anything like that. So all you care about is a +5. The minus, so you +5 -3s are the same as a +5 -5. What you're looking on here is definitely you want to try to get some res. People will say cast rate. Honestly, the 30 FCR breakpoint is just fine for me. I don't think you need really much more than that, as you'll see in the video. So I do have some other helmets. I got really unlucky with P-boxing this season. Um, yeah, I got this one right here I bought, and I really liked it because of the faster run ball off the decks, and it's got a little bit more res than mine, but I puzzle pieced it for 1 socket, so unlucky is what it is. The second thing you're looking for, I mean, the biggest damage you can get, 3 summons with a +1 slam, and then try to go desecrate it. Once again, not a great slam, but it survived. Better than ED, but probably like the 3rd worst slam you can get. You can also, get the +2s, some rares or crafteds that are really good too. Just personal preference at that point, with some res on it, if you want to make up the res there. Phoenix is the best version of this build. If you're not using Phoenix, you're chugging pots like crazy. Between blood warping and taking a little bit of damage, you're just killing yourself with blood warp, basically. The build really comes online and feels really good with Phoenix. It does kind of suck that this shield is only used for redemption. And I will say 12 definitely feels a lot better than 10 to me personally. So, but the minus and nothing else on this really does anything. I mean, you get 75 to light and some max resist, which is nice, but that's it. The Trang's armor is the best armor for damage. Helps you get that blood warp cooldown. Really good. They're pretty cheap. Me personally, 3 sockets is better. With my math, the way I was doing it, then I +1 2-socketed, and very cheap. You can get one of these for I think like a gold rune. 5% is about the same damage as +1 slam. So like a 5% fast is pretty much the same damage as a +1 slam. It's just personal preference at that point. I prefer it this way. There's 2 gloves you can use. One's Grey Palms and one is Mage Fist if you wanted to get FCR. Like I said, I didn't feel like the FCR was needed, so I went with the Grave Palms because they give summoning skills, which is just better than having Mage Fist do work on Fire Golem, but that's it. Doesn't work on anything else here, which is also another easier way to get your Blood Warp cooldown even further down. And if you end up going the Revive, you know, you get plus to that too. Double skill rings. I went with BKs. Not only are they the cheapest, but the version of the build I did, you know, Necros don't get a lot of life. As you can see, I only have 843 life, but that's because I went an energy build. So I went with BKs. I had strength and a dex here, so I could put on gear easier. They're like a high rune to 1.25 to get. I ended up finding this and slamming it, so I'm just using this for now. But yeah, you just want skill rings. Arachnids, best belt there is. With the Arachnids, a 10 FCR and a Dominion, you have that 30 FCR breakpoint. That I feel is like what you want at least to have. So very cheap. I went with an all-res slam here. You can do MF, just depends on how you want to do it. And then for boots, I have some pretty cool boots here. Faster run walk doesn't really matter on this build. You're just teleporting like crazy. So, but you basically just want res, as much res as you can get to make up for everything else you have. Doesn't really give you res. For charms, obviously, got my Geeds, some summon skillers with life. You can go with FHR in there. Don't really feel like I need it that much. I think I've died twice on this build so far mapping, and I pretty much telestomp straight on them. So, and then some fire skiller ones. It just depends on what you want to do. The fire skill damage is a little bit more than the summoning skillers, but I got some 5 all res charms I dumped some currency into to get my res pretty good. Yeah, just to keep myself safer because Necros are squishy. And then obviously a torch. I went with a 20 res torch, obvious reasons, and I ended up finding a mirror and trading a mirror for this +2 here because this is the best you want to get. Skills, 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 skills on this. Now there's 2 ways to do the offhand. So you're going to be looking at this and probably be like, what in the world has he got there? I do have a CTA and a lidless, but it's actually less damage than this. These don't have these don't have +5 facets in them yet. But it's actually, as you see down here on the tooltip, I'll show you. So I go from 4.6k to 5.8k, and that's in town. When I go out of town, it's more because of my Mercs gear. So so Ghost Flame, super cheap. You get a 2-socket one. This is a 24 fire. So you get a 25, and then you just put 2 +5 facets in it. And then in the offhand, you want as many plus skills to Fire Golem as you can get with as many holes as you can get. This is only a +4, so a +6 with 2 holes is like GG. But +4, +5, it's going to give you a lot more damage. And there's only +4. The facets in here are +4, not even +5. And the damage goes way up. The CTA does give you a little bit more life and stuff, but I feel this way is better. And then this way you're not doing the whole... I don't do the whole Ormus, gear swapping thing. I just like to summon my golems and get into the map and go. We'll go over the Merc. There's 2 different Mercs you can use. Obviously, you need to go Infinity on this build to really pump it out. Act 2 Merc or Act 4 Merc. I tried Act 2 Merc first. Wasn't really a fan of it. The PDR is nice, but you run into a lot of fire and physical immunes in the maps, no matter if they say there's no fire immunes in it. And if you run into a fire physical immune with an Act 2 Merc, you just basically have to skip it. This Merc actually pumps out a lot of damage and deals with those immunes in like 2-3 shots them. Sometimes even 1 shots them and does great damage itself. Lives great and is super cheap to gear. I ended up making a Infinity and a Staff +3 Nova in case for either resale value or if I wanted to make a Nova Sword. Super easy to put it on, super cheap base. Just make sure you get the 50 FCR base. Flickering Flame, one of the most annoying rune words in the game to make if you've ever made them. This is my 3rd one, and the highest I've gotten so far is 4 Resist Fire, which not only helps you with damage, but helps you with fire res, which is nice. I just went basically faster cast rate gear. I think I got this for like 5 Whirlstone shards or 10 Whirlstone shards. Just a PDR slammed Viper Magi to hit the breakpoint. Just some Mage Fists, string because it doesn't need any more FCR, and all res boots. As you can see, capped on res and at the 125 SCR breakpoint. That's all you care about. It's got 19% PDR, so chillin'. So yeah, like I said, when I go out of town, my damage is 4.9k with the Flickering Flame buff, or 6.1k with just this without CTA. We'll go over the skills real quick and we'll jump into the map. Obviously, you max out Fire Golem and all of its synergies. I only put 1 point into Blood Warp, and with all my plus skills, since it's on the summon tree, it's down to a 0.2 second cooldown, which is great. I went 1 point Bone Armor for the Bone Armor build, and I didn't have to go anything to lower resist because my Dominion has it. And this side, enough 156 strength so I can wear my Phoenix. I did have to put a couple points to wear Ghost Flame. I actually could respec here and drop some down. But when I had a BK Slam Dex, I didn't have to. So yeah. And then I have put a couple points into Vit, but pretty much just dumped everything into mana because of how Bone Armor works. As you can see, 1200 Bone Armor, so it's pretty juicy. Sorry, so we got a River of Blood here. One of my favorite maps to do on this build because the Purify does not really matter at all for you. All you're doing is teleporting. So we'll go ahead and I'll show you how you do it. Just go ahead and open up the map. You switch to the Ghost Flame offhand. 2, 3, 4, 5. You switch back, and you summon your last Golem. Get your Bone Armor up, and then it's just teleport. Almost everything dies in one tick. Beginning the map is always laggy for me. Not sure why. And then I just keep up my Bone Armor. Fits my playstyle a little bit more with the Bone Armor. Able to tele-stomp in. I like it. Because the range is not huge on these golems, but they are big. And as you see here, my health is going up. The Phoenix is just so good in this build. Yeah, just teleport through. This is a T2 map. You can do T3 maps too. But yeah. Really fun build. I love it. Just deletes the Scream pretty much in one tick. See, here's a Fanaticism pack. I'm just going to jump right in on him. Because I have my Bone Armor. My Merc is surviving just fine. And yeah, it's kind of like a lazy Nova build. Here's a little mini boss. And this is when I cast Dolores. As you see. Deals with that just fine. See, there's a fire immune there. Of course, my Merc is gonna kind of run backwards, but deals with fire immunes just fine. Big Consecrate pack there, just jump right in on him with Bone Armor. I will say every now and then I do tele-stomp and die. I think twice now. And they were both Throne of Insanity's nasty packs. boss's blade. If you guys are wondering, the filter I'm using is the BGG filter from Erasure. It's a pretty cool filter. Definitely recommend. So yeah, we're doing the showcase today. I'm actually, after this, I'm going to put all this gear in a stash and spend some currency. Those are okay, but not great. Spend some currency and get gear up some Green Goblin. I've had some people come in and chat. I'm streaming on Twitch and say that Green Goblin is, they think, still better than this. So we are gonna go put that to the test. This guy's poison actually does crank me. For the most part, you just sit back. As you see, there's the boss. He just gets melted. So yeah, we're gonna gear up a Green Goblin today and go over that. So I expect a compare video later on. I think Green Goblin is still probably really good. It's more expensive to get your Merc that geared though, if you go the whole Purgatory route. But I think it's probably safer also, because it's got way more range. The aura isn't that big on this. It's big, but it's not great. And you can also, do the whole lower res teleport. Lower res teleport if you want. At this point, I don't feel like it's needed. Be interesting to see how Revive does. Revive with these be nice little extra tanks. The only annoying part about this build is draining your life with teleport. With Blood Warp. I was wanting to try out a version of this with Enigma, but I just feel like if you don't have Phoenix, like, you're just going to be chugging pots like crazy no matter what, because you're going to be taking damage. Especially with this build, because you don't have as many, you only have 6 summons, so you don't have as many body blocks. Oh yeah, full goes the map. Boom. Ooh, a big ring right there. Let it be a wisp. This build is great for just MFing too. There's a version where you can just put on like Shaco and just have like full MF. Oh, that's another Nagel. Full MF with like, Scolders and stuff like that and just blast T1s. Absolutely demolishes Royal Crypts. But this is like one of my favorite maps for this build. Everything's so confined like this. There you go. Like a 7-minute map while talking and looting. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. There's Fire Golem. If you guys think that Green Goblin is better, Fire Golem is better, let me know what you think in chat. If you have any, changes to the build that you think work out or you're playing it, let me know and I'll give it a try. Until next time, peace out, and good luck on the drops.